It's Do Time with Pastor Steph.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Rise and shine. You're on with this Do Time with Pastor Steph. How are you this morning? That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. For this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So, where were you yesterday? Yesterday was Wow Wednesday, and we got to talking with our girlfriend Viv and her socially conscious segment, and she talked about the new, not 4K, not 3K, but 2K. The city-funded childcare has now dropped to include the toddlers, the little ones. Yes, we know that parents are struggling with daycare expenses, as Vivian did a segment on her socially conscious one time where the child care is more expensive than college tuition. Well, here's the thing, and I'm going to add a little caveat to this today because I kind of thought something was going to jump off. They have 2,000 seats available, but Manhattan, the Bronx, Queens, and Brooklyn. And I was like, oh, those Staten Islanders are not going to be happy. And they sure weren't. Last night I saw in the news they are raising holy hell. Yes, because they are ignored. That city of New York is being ignored one more time. Yeah, I said it just like that because that's what's going on. Okay, they are not feeling good about being slighted. Now, I'm trying to figure out why wouldn't they be included? Well, supposedly the rollout was for those areas that needed the highest child care. Yeah, the ones that had the highest child care needs. Maybe they figure that Staten Island doesn't. However, you don't leave them out altogether. When I heard 4 cities instead of 5, I was like, uh-oh, somebody's going to be upset. And yes, the report came in last night that they were highly upset. So, it's a bittersweet situation where we're happy, of course, because last year alone, right here on this Do Time, we did several stories of moms, not necessarily in New York City, but moms who had to go to work and left those babies with these men, and that never turned out well. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had the story. So shout out to New York City. But come on, y'all got to include everybody. You can't be leaving people out. Okay? So, hey, thank God for the 2,000 little people getting some attention. Well, Congress is pushing a bipartisan bill for something that you all have heard about, no matter where you are, because it has turned out to be a nationwide thing. In between 2023 and 2025, there were 679,000 EBT benefits that had been swiped. Now, that's to the tune of $323 million. Yo, what's up with that? What's up with that? So now they claim that because of what happened, they're going to put a lid on this thing by changing your EBT card. Now, for those who know, your EBT card can just be swiped. They're supposed to be putting that chip on your card. Yep, just like our bank cards and our credit cards, and this is supposed to kind of shift the ability for they're not going to be able to clone these cards anymore. Listen, we got to talking yesterday, and several of us believe that it was an inside job. How in the world is the federal government being ripped off for $323 million and you're not raising sand? Come on. Come on, come on. It's okay that that's happened. And all you're going to do is sit back quietly after all this time. Now, listen, in between 2023 and 2025, there were 679,000 benefits that had been stolen. And now you just figuring this out in 2026. Yeah, how to handle this thing. That's like somebody saying, well, you know what, they've been robbing my house and robbing my house, but I've been leaving the door open. And finally, I decide that 4 years later, I'm going to now lock the door. Mm-hmm. You know, and they knew what was going on all this time. It was an inside job. They knew where, you know, it's coming from. Yeah, that was them recouping money. Yeah, and they took it off your backs, whoever gets EBT. So we'll see how this supposedly works out. Well, Vivian brought that up. Colin and Colt's story. Yes, the dad who bought the son the gun, the rifle for Christmas, and he took it to the school and shot up the school after threatening to shoot up the school. Yeah, well, you know, if you've been following the story along with It's Due Time with Pastor Steph, they arrested him. They were considering charging him. Well, Vivian brought back the word. They have officially charged him with the 4 murders that took place. There were 2 students and 2 adults, and now Colin is being charged with that. And you know what? We're just looking at this over and over and over again. They are really making an example out of these parents who have now become very negligent in ensuring that their children are doing the right thing. Yeah. Well, speaking of which, the wow story for the week is the dad whose son was a party to the little girl, 12 years old, that was raped. Now, she was leaving a friend's house. They saw her. They raped her. 2, a few of them held her down. 2 of them actually did the deed. And now dad is upset because they're charging his 12-year-old son, one who held her down. Yeah, they're charging all of them as adults. And he wants to know, are you really going to lock him up? Are you really going to put him in jail? He comes from a home with a dad. There's a father in the home. And as we spoke yesterday, we were all in agreement that you needed to keep that little piece to yourself. Yeah, because that doesn't look very good for you to be in the home. And yet, there's some nonsense like this going on. Your son is a participant in this level of crime, such a violation to a young child. Come on. I'd have had my head underneath the rock somewhere hiding, hoping they would never put the fact that me and you were even related. So that took us into, well, let me finish saying that. That took us into an impromptu pray for them. We talked about Colin and Colt with the gun and the rifle and shooting up the school. We talked about this man with the kids, raping the 12-year-old girl, and he's upset because he doesn't want his son facing what he needs to face. The day before, we just got finished doing a story of the 69-year-old man who's going to spend 37 years in jail because his son, along with 3 of his friends, unlicensed, decided to take the car that he made available and drive and killed 4 people in another car and really seriously injured the other passenger. We talked about yesterday, these people, Jennifer and James Crumbly, who, they are responsible too. They are also responsible for the fact that, their child was a party of these killings. So we went into an impromptu pray for them, and we give God thanks that we know He hears our prayer. And that's how we spent our Wednesday. Well, today is Therapeutic Thursday. Oh, we're on the other side of that thing, that other side of the weekend. We're coming on down to the end of the week. God spares our life. So let's get this party started. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Go get that healthy breakfast. Go tell somebody that It's Due Time with Pastor Steph is on. And whatever you do, don't go anywhere because we will be right back.
If you want to practice trusting God, try building anything that matters: a business, a dream, a family, a new version of yourself. Because the moment you decide to grow, life will test your faith. Not once, but again and again. There will be seasons where the numbers don't add up, where the people you counted on walked away, where the pressure is louder than your prayers, and still you will show up. You'll try again. You'll trust without guarantees. That's faith. Not theory, not perfection, but forward motion in uncertainty, building while doubting, planting when you don't see the harvest yet. So no, you don't have to be an entrepreneur to know what faith feels like. You just have to choose something worth showing up for, even when you're scared, especially when you don't have control, because trusting God isn't just for church on Sunday. It's a daily decision in business, in love, in life, to walk when you don't know where the path leads, and believing that He's guiding you every step.
Good morning, and good morning again. Great PSA. Wow, a wonderful way to get our day started. You know, we're talking about Therapeutic Thursday, and she really put some stuff out there. Just go ahead and trust God, and we don't have to talk about it. Nope, we don't have to talk about the fact that we're trusting God. All we have to do is just do it. Tamaja always tells me, uh, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Yeah. Well, that's the way we have to show God that we're showing up. Remember yesterday, that was part of our prayer. Always showing up to the things that we really, really need to show up for. Yeah. Are we going to tell God that we're there? Or are we going to show God we're there? So that was a really good PSA. All right. If you're in the room, please check in, because other than that, I don't know you're here and I cannot give you a hearty shout out. Let's say good morning to our girl, Ketty. Hey, Ketty, good morning. Good morning. Go get your boy Terrence. Where is he? Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We got to check in from our boy Serge. Hey, Serge, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining us. We got our girl Brenda in the house. Well, Brenda says, I'm on my way to work. Well, go ahead, giving God thanks for Brenda, who has been out on that crossing guard line. Oh my goodness. Let me see. I was a kid when Brenda first started crossing those kiddies. I was a kid. I was about 16 years old, and I am going to be 60. And Brenda is still crossing them kids. So shout out to you, Brenda. Thank you so much for just being loyal to our kids. We so appreciate you. We got to check in from our girl, Lily. Good morning, Lily. Thank you so much for joining us. We got to check in from our girl, Teresa. Hey, Teresa. Safe travels to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Serge and Ketty both like that PSA. And we got to check in from Miss Grace. Hey, Miss Grace. Good morning. Got to go out this morning. So hope you have a good day. Thank you so much, Miss Grace. It is pouring outside, and they say it is going to rain even harder. So please bundle up, be safe, and Hope everything goes well for you today. Thank you so much for checking in. Well, we must say good morning to the ladies that ensure we are held down each and every day. Let's say good morning to our girl Shantice. Hey, Shantice. I didn't hear from our girl Tamika. Hey, let's say good morning to our girl Anika. Hey, Anika. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Well, we got our, let's see. We got our, what do you call that thing? Why am I like tongue-tied here? We have our health tip. Yeah, we got our health tip this morning. And it is quite interesting. And I gotta say, I've been finding out that this is pretty accurate. Okay. Oh, we got a check-in from Lou Seiko. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Why does that name sound familiar? You were on with us before, right? Oh, did you come back again? Amen. Amen. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. All righty. Let's talk about our health tip. Well, they're talking about the fruits that fight sugar cravings without sacrificing the sweetness. So in other words, we're talking about that fruit that you're going to get that, just that on your tongue. Oh, it's Adele. That's why. Okay. Adele. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. All right. We're talking about that fruit that you're going to get hit with, and you're going to feel like you've been hit with the sugar. All right. Blueberries are the first thing on this list. And we know blueberries have the great health benefits, but they say that it is able to quench the sugar cravings. Now, I don't know about this one, y'all, because I put berries in my smoothie and it seems like it takes away the sugar taste. Yeah, but if they say it does, just doesn't work for me. They say that there are 15 grams of sugar per cup. Yeah, well, it sure don't taste like it. But hey, if you want to get that sugar rush from fruit and you're trying to kill that, I don't need to go get that candy, cookies, or cake. Try the blueberries, they say, and it won't spike your blood sugar either. All right. Strawberries. I'm sorry. No, strawberries are not sweet to me, but they're calling them the, let's see, they got a name for this thing here. The sweet treat with a twist. Okay. I don't know, y'all, but they claim that these strawberries are great for replacing your sugar. And they say 7 grams of sugar per cup. I've seen people put sugar on strawberries. So, okay. But listen, I can't fight the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition that found that strawberries can slow down the absorption of glucose. Yes. So because of that, they say it helps to boost your sugar intake and you won't kind of crave the outside sugar. So I don't know, y'all, but hey, listen, I'm not the expert, right? Cherries. Yes, cherries. They're calling them nature's candy with surprising benefits. We're talking about fruits that are able to replace sugar, candy, cookies, cake. Yeah, it kind of gives you the same effect. And they're saying it has the ability to kill the craving for outside sugar. So we've so far got blueberries, strawberries and cherries. Now, we know that those dark cherries tend to be a little more sweeter, or a little sweeter rather. 1 cup of sweet cherries contain 18 grams of sugar. So cherries are a little different than the strawberries and the blueberries. You will definitely taste the sugar in those bad boys. All right. They say that many dietitians recommend keeping frozen cherries on hand for like a quick treat. So you won't be reaching for that. Hey. You won't be reaching for the candy. Pineapples, now we're talking. Pineapple, the tropical sweetness that satisfies, they're calling it. Yes, I will agree that pineapples are known for intense sweetness, unless you get a fresh one that's not that sweet. But generally, the ones in the can, they're really sweet. And they're saying 16 grams of sugar per cup. Yeah, definitely. Well, it's also loaded with vitamin C and other um, abilities to fight inflammation. So you want to get that pineapple in your system. Not too much though, because with 16 grams of sugar per cup, you're going to end up spiking that sugar level. So we don't want to do that, okay? But they say it is definitely the one that you want to reach for when you are trying to kill that candy craving. And I agree, definitely. Kiwi, they say the fuzzy powerhouse with tangy sweetness. I think kiwi is another one of those where you got to get the right one. Yeah. All right. 6 grams of sugar in a cup of kiwi. All right. They say that kiwi is great for your healthy gut bacteria, vitamin C, and other antioxidants. And it's a great snack when you want to replace that sugar craving. All righty. Apples, crunchy, satisfying, and naturally sweet. I do agree with that, especially if you get that right apple. Oh my goodness. What did they say? 19 grams of sugar in a cup of apples. Okay. And you know you're going to get that pectin fiber in the skin. You want to definitely keep that skin on, although that's not quite where the sugar is, but it is extremely healthy for you. So you definitely want to hold on to those apples. Now remember, they're the red apples. We ain't talking about them green apples, because they're not sweet at all. Very rarely. Sometimes the yellow ones are sweet, the yellow apples, but them green ones, you're not eating those for sugar. Trust me. Grapes. Oh, the juicy pop of sweetness in it. So we could tame those cravings. And you know that grapes can definitely, getting those right grapes definitely has the ability to fight those sugar cravings with 15 grams of sugar in every cup. Remember, they tell you only eat 15 grapes if you're a diabetic. That's how sweet grapes are. Yes. And they say that, grapes offer antioxidants and all kinds of things that help to reduce your sugar. It helps to fight those cravings. And you definitely want to get a cup full of grapes if you are craving sugar. And I just had some last night, so I'm telling you. And I had the black grapes. Yeah, they had the black grapes on sale, so I tried those. And they were actually okay. The only thing about black grapes, they get softer quicker. They don't have that tough skin on it like the green grapes. Okay, so that's what you're going to do if you want to run and get something sweet to kill that craving, especially if you're a diabetic. They really encourage us not to get that candy, but to go get the fruit. And the fruit we're going to grab, let's get that going. We're going to get those blueberries, strawberries, cherries, Let's see what else. Pineapples, apples. Yeah, and the grapes. All right. All right. Well, I gotta tell y'all, when I tell you hard pressed for some news, oh my gosh, I thought I was gonna have to come and just talk to y'all today because it was horrible. And when I tell you, I checked across every single platform and let me tell you something, I use several sources to get my news from. Boy, when I tell you they went to sleep on the job, oh my goodness, they went to sleep on the job. So I am really, really unhappy with the news today. But you know what? The Due Time crew can always turn this thing around and make something out of nothing. So, what are we talking about today? Well, the first thing we want to talk about is that Medicare card scam. Yeah, they're saying that there seems to be some surge in the Medicaid card scamming where they're sending out Medicare cards, that's that red, white, and blue card, in plastic. It's laminated already. And they're saying, it's fake because Social Security Administration will never, ever, ever send out your cards already laminated. Now, back in 2018, they changed the Medicare cards because our Medicare cards used to have our Social Security numbers on them. Yeah. So what they did was they switched the card to like an arbitrary number. So you have a Social Security card number. Now that's a number you're not going to ever memorize because you really don't need that card. But at least if you have it, which you should if you are retiring or have retired, if you are disabled, you will definitely have a red, white, and blue card, but it will not come in the mail already laminated. So here's what they're doing. They're sending the cards already laminated, and then on the card, there's a number, and it's telling you that you have to activate the card. Well, no. Social Security will never have you activate anything. No. So here's how they're telling you to activate the card with your Social Security number. So you don't want to do that. Okay. Make sure you are not a part of this scam. You do not give any information. Social Security will never ask you for information. As a matter of fact, they'll sooner call you into the office. Yeah. They have also set up Social Security like .org or .gov or something like that where we can go online and set up an account. And what they'll do is when there's something added to your account, they'll send you a notification to log in so you can check any updates or for any updates. How do I know? Because it just happened. So anytime, they want to reach out to you, they will put it into your account. So it's very important that you start a Social Security account online. When you do that, you can, like if you lose your Social Security card, you can actually order a new one. I've done it. You can check if you need letters for those of us who get Social Security and you need a proof of income. You can log in and you can print out. They have a letter right there. It's not like you used to have to do years ago and call them and they'll send you a letter. Nope. As long as you have an account, the letter is in the account. Your cost of living increase, that's there. Everything is there. So they don't ever have to call you and ask you for anything, and you will never have to call them and give them anything. So please, if somebody is reaching out to you, and they're hitting our they're always hitting our elderly people. Yeah. So you know, I, there's got to be a special punishment for them because God has charged us to take care of the widows and the orphans. Why are you doing that to our old people? Stop it. Stop it. So, you know, Adele says that's rude. And Lily says, crazy you're talking about this. I needed this info because I have an appointment at the SSI office today. Okay. Yes. They will never, ever, ever ask you anything over the phone. Most likely, they will have you go online to do it. So, all of you go on. I don't care how old you are, especially if you're an adult, go online and open up a Social Security account. They are encouraging you to do so. Doesn't mean you never have to go into the office because there may be times you have to go in the office. But most things you will be able to do online. Only you should have that information to get into your account. And if they really want to know some stuff, they're going to call you in. And thank you for confirming that for us, Lily. All right, what else is going on? Well, we got an update on a story that took place a couple of years ago that we talked about. Remember in the Bronx? I believe it was in the Bronx. Yep. In that Bronx daycare back in 2023, the 22-month-old baby was killed when the owner of the daycare center and her boyfriend was hiding the fentanyl in the daycare. And that's when fentanyl was like, you couldn't have it in the air, you couldn't touch it. And they put him down for a nap. And he did not wake up. Not only him, but like a couple of other children. But one of the other children was able to, he overdosed. Yep. Just from being in that same room. And they were able to give him some Narcan and save his life. But this little baby here did not make it. And the owners of the daycare center, this woman and her, I don't know if it's her husband, her drug dealing husband, Felix Herrera Garcia and Gris Mendez, they were sentenced to 25 years to life on second-degree murder and assault charges for this act. So they took the fentanyl and put it underneath the floorboards of the daycare center. On top of the floorboards, they put the baby's cots. And it killed the baby. It killed the baby. Yeah, I don't know if y'all remember that story, but we talked about that story for a minute. Yeah. So, they show a picture of her crying. Yeah, so what? So what? You and your drug dealing husband. These parents lost their baby. The other parents, we're going to pray that there are no neurological issues or, anything that this baby will suffer from. But why? Shantice, if you can, show that picture of the floorboard that the fentanyl was in. It was one piece of the floor that they put the fentanyl in and closed the lid and thought that was going to be okay. So that just goes to show you that you didn't even know what you were dealing with, that you would put that in the daycare center and endanger the babies. You really couldn't find any place else to put this. So, God bless the family. Hopefully this, they'll find, as they say, closure and justice. 25 years to life is pretty decent. Now, they're young, but here's the thing. Whenever you hear this amount of time to that, they always got to do that base number. So 25 years to life, they definitely have to do at least 25 years. And if they're up for parole, they may not get it. So they can do anywhere from 25 years. So even if they were 30, they would, be getting out. They wouldn't be able to get out till they were about 55 or 50 or whatever that was. Yeah, I said 30, right? So 55 years old. And if they are not allowed to get out, then they'll be close to 60 or more. So good for you. Good for you, because these parents don't have their baby, and this baby doesn't have a life. All righty. What else are we talking about today? Yo, these people who went to Dubai are stuck. Yeah. So they have this one story of this young lady. She went to Dubai to celebrate her 30th birthday. Where's my article here? Oh my goodness. She went to Dubai to celebrate her 30th birthday, and they were having a wonderful time. And while they were there, I think it was March 1st, is when they actually, the strike happened with when I say strike, I mean the war started. And they said they've been seeing missiles go over their head. And the bad part about it is they're stuck because they're not allowing like many planes to fly. But here's the jacked up part, y'all. Because they say America started it, the Americans are not allowed to leave. They have not been allowed to leave, they say. So you have so check this out. I didn't realize that supposedly Dubai is like this huge travel place now. So many countries have people that are there. But there are several countries that were able to get some of their people up out of there. Yeah. So they were saying that they even considered, so for argument's sake, don't come straight from there to America, but go like from from Dubai to Ireland, and from Ireland to this place, and then they're saying because the route that they would take would require them to have visas. And you don't have a visa if you just have a passport, because all you needed was what you needed to get from America to Dubai. And that's where they're stuck. Now they have suggested, hey, their family and friends, why haven't you talked to like the, what do you call it, like the United Nations and people like that, or places like that? They're like, they have already reached out, and they have been told that no, if you just stay bunkered and sheltered, stay put. We know you're trapped. We know you want to go home, but there needs to be some things that need to be worked out. And sorry, there's no evacuation support for Americans, while others have their citizens, like Italy. They were able to get 127 of their citizens out. So, 30 years old, you're stuck there. But here was my concern, and I was actually looking for this in the article. What happens when your money runs out? Because they've been there since March. She's been there since March. No, she's been there before March 1st. And she said that their money is running low. What they've opted to do was they're shopping like at supermarkets and things like that. But if you're in a hotel, ain't no cooking. So if you've got like microwaves, I guess that's how and you can't buy but so much because you only got a little refrigerator. So they are really becoming very concerned because their money is running low. So I guess maybe, their people can maybe wire them some money or Zelle them money. But here's my other thought. With the missiles flying over your head, do you really want to be out and about? Do I really want to be out and about when people can now kidnap you? Because they're very volatile right about now. Yes, we don't know what is going on. They say they have been pleading with Donald Trump to have this end, but like he really cares if his family ain't over there. I don't even know if this man would be moved by his family being there. So, prayers up to this young lady and all of those. So what she did was she started a GoFundMe to help support those, unexpected travel expenses. So, good morning, Terrence. Thanks for joining us. Was looking for you, my friend. Yeah, so I don't know, y'all. They say that they're hoping that, this doesn't escalate much more because that's what's happened since they've been there. So prayers up to the family and to all of those who are stuck over there. That must be pretty disappointing. You go over there for your birthday. She's 30 and now she's stuck with this war going on. I tell you, you don't know what to do these days. Let's see what else we're talking about. Yeah, this was horrible today for the news. Oh, y'all got to hear about this. Y'all got to hear about this. Y'all got to hear about this. I have a couple more minutes. So, out in Japan, some brainiac, and I mean this literally, some brainiac decided to start a trend. They call it coffin lying. And it's a meditation time that people are spending in coffins so that they can meditate. Now, they are 25 to 30 minutes. They're only costing $13. They come in all shapes, forms, and sizes. They come in different colors. They have even fixed up some rooms to have the caskets in the room where they can look up in the ceiling as they're meditating. And they have like special things in the ceiling. They're playing music and all of these things to get them to calm down in order to meditate. Also, they've colored the rooms. You have some people who have flowers inside of the coffin. They have coffins big enough that you can get in there with 2 and 3 other people. Yeah. This is what we doing, y'all. This is what we're doing. And this Grave Tokyo designer, that's what they call themselves, Grave Tokyo. They're a custom coffin maker. And they said that this fancy approach to funerary wares help people see that death is bright and not so scary. So by these people going in the coffin, they have now come to terms with one day they'll be in this coffin and there's no need to be scared anymore. There's nothing to fear. Well, ain't nothing to fear because you ain't gonna know nothing about it no way. My sister always laughs at me. She says, Steph, you always say that like, like blase. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. What do I know? You make it seem as though you're going to be buried alive. Trevor says, this sounds crazy. A coffin. Yes. You're doing all of this to let people meditate. You're saying that after these people go through this process, y'all should see how some of these coffins are dressed up. Got skirts on them and all kinds of things. They say that back in 2024, one of the companies hosted a workshop and university and invited all these students to participate in this coffin experience so that they can change their views on death and encourage them to have a desire to live. But yet you got the other group that says that, oh, I don't need, I don't have anything to worry about anymore because I understand that, death is coming and there's nothing to fear with me being in a coffin. And that's why I say, so what? You're going to be in a coffin, you're going to be dead. You ain't going to know nothing. They used to get mad when I used to say, bury me in the backyard. Say, stop saying that. What do I know? I ain't going to be here. Just don't bury me in the coffin now, in the backyard now. But other than that, I don't care what you do with me when my body, when I'm dead. What do I care? I know people say, I'm telling you, my sister, when we talk about stuff like this or anything, I always say, what do you care? What do you care? What do you care? I don't care. I'm going to be sleeping in my grave. What do I care? I have a comment, not sure what company or where, but urns are being sold that will play the person's favorite music playlist. Just, will you stop it already? Will you stop it already? You're dead. What difference does it make? Where is my due time crew? I tell you. Let's talk to our girl, Tamika. See what she's got to say about all this nonsense going on. Good morning, Lady Tamika.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you today?
All right, girl. Doing this news always gives me something to live for.
I can imagine.
I tell you, always giving me something to live for, child. Let me see. So let's talk. I think I'm already up to the last story. Let's talk about the girl stuck in Dubai along with the other people who are stuck in Dubai who went over there for her birthday. And now they cannot move. They said they've even tried to kind of go through Germany since the American people have been forbidden. They've almost been held there, where other countries have been able to get their people out. The United States, because they are claiming and blaming the United States for getting this started, they will not let the United States citizens come up out of Dubai. So they've even tried to go through Germany and other countries, and they're like, nope, because you need visas. And none of them have visas. They just have their passport. Girl, what would you be doing right about now?
Crying.
She said crying.
Wailing and crying. All I want for my birthday is to get back home. And now you're at a point, this is why we have to seek God for, all of our direction. Looking at everything that was going on, and I understand that you wanted to celebrate your birthday, but a lot of times people think, oh, it's me. Looking at the current of what's going on, looking at the president and his choices and his decisions, just when he came into office, I myself was planning on going out of the country. That was my desire, and for those that are not aware, I took my husband away for his birthday last year and we just went to Puerto Rico. So we're still in the United States. And the reason for that choice was because I was concerned about what would happen if I got out somewhere with all these things, with people going to one place and ending up someplace else. I said, you know what, let's just stay right within the United States. I want to give you the feel of, English not being the first language, but I want you to be comfortable enough that if something happens, hey, we're still at home,
Right.
and I get it that she wanted to celebrate her birthday, but you have to be wise and cognizant of what's going on around you, what's going on in the world. Seek the Father for your choices and your decisions so that you don't end up in that place. I mean, I wouldn't even know what it's like to be able to go somewhere and my passport is not even valid. Like,
Right.
you're looking at it and it's
Right.
all of our passports are blue that say United States, so as soon as she goes, they look at that passport. Nope, can't help you. And that is a really sad state of affairs because you have no idea when or even if you can come back. You may have to start learning how to live way out in Dubai and can't get home. But, we have no idea at this point.
Right. She said that many people, they have jobs and families and pets and all kinds of things that they need to get back for, and they can't come back here. Tara says, laugh out loud. That's a good one. All I want for my birthday is to get back home. Yeah, that's about all you can want because ain't nothing else going on. And Adele says, yep, you're right. Let's see what Shartice has got to say about this thing.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. So you're stuck in Dubai after you went there to celebrate your birthday. You got this GoFundMe that you started in order to get money to help you stay there.
Tragic. Unfortunately, we're dealing, as you ladies were talking, COVID came to mind. And I was like, God, what if this is your way of telling us to sit still? Like you told us to sit still during COVID. So we're not completely locked in and locked down like we were back in 20 and 21. However, are you telling us to sit still as far as where and how we travel because there is someone in place who is not making it feasible for us to travel? It's crazy when I can't come back home because of something that most likely you did either start or instigate. This is crazy. We just got finished talking about the situation in Mexico. The cartel has shut the streets down, bombing stores and gas stations and street corners, not the federales, the cartel. So they're stuck over there. Well, they were stuck over there. I'm not sure what the status of that is now. Now we're hearing this week. That was just last week. Now we're hearing this week that, so if it's one person, that's one person too many. Stuck in Dubai because of beef. There's beef going on everywhere. When are you gonna learn to stay home? So since we have to talk your language, there's beef going on everywhere. United States is having beef with everyone, directly or indirectly. Stay home. If you knew that at your nearest boulevard, they were having a drive-by, would you go there during that time to McDonald's? No, you'd stay home. How did we celebrate our birthdays during COVID? And yeah, I understand this is a milestone birthday, but during COVID, you had people who were graduating from high school, their first year of college, turning 21. A lot of people have milestone occasions and events and stuff going on during them. They managed. But it's like, I don't understand what has to be done because I still see people traveling. and still booking flights right now. Like, oh, I'm going. I'll be all right. You'll be all right. Right over there.
Yeah.
Well, even in addition to that, you think about it, they were canceling flights, and just in our own regular area, planes were falling out the sky, and you just got to be very, very cognizant, seek the Lord in your decision making.
Yes.
You know what to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ever since he's been in office, you have to really kind of curtail because you really don't know what he's doing. Adele says, it's crazy how people travel around the world without taking political tensions into consideration. Americans are not very well liked once we start leaving the country. So all these crazy places without checking the history. Absolutely. Let's see what Pastor KL has to say. Good morning.
You're muted.
Oh man, I said good morning so nice. Let's try it again. Good morning. How you ladies doing?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Doing well.
Good, good. So what say you about traveling out of this country during, such a volatile moment? They claim that they went to Dubai. There was not any, tension or anything going on. And it didn't happen until after she got there, and then everything escalated. This war started, and now they're officially stuck. Now, some other countries have gotten their people out of Dubai, but Americans have been having to shelter in place.
Yeah, I think that our wonderful leader has put us in a place, in a fight that we didn't ask for. We didn't join. We didn't vote on. I think if I'm in New York right now and I'm in the Bronx, I don't even want to go to Queens. I'm scared. I don't want to even leave the borough, let alone leave the state. Now, I'm not sure how many of you ladies have been to Dubai. I've been there. And there's a whole different culture. You can't dress like we dress here in Dubai. Right. You have to wear their garbs. You have to do it's crazy. So, to visit for a week is fine. But when you're there for an unlimited amount of time, that's a whole different culture shock. Whole different culture shock.
Of course it is. And that was my thought. My thought was, well, wait a minute. Now you're stuck there. You can't walk the streets like you normally would walk the streets.
No.
Like you normally would live. We ain't talking about, going someplace. This is Dubai. Yo,
yes.
you better understand where you going.
Man. And it's not a Christian place.
Right.
That's a whole nother world.
Yeah, the way they describe how they treat their women there.
Right.
Is ridiculous.
Yes.
Y'all can't speak in the streets.
The way, not only the regular domestic way, the way they treat. Okay, so here we have prostitution. Prostitution is a whole different meaning there. Like it is wicked. It is crazy over there to even hear something like that. It's like, wow, like you would kind of think like stuff like that is universal. But no, they have their own meaning for prostitution over in Dubai.
But this is why I can't understand all of the crave, to go there.
Because everybody else knows.
Right. And I'm like, do you realize not only that, I know several people have gone who've gotten sick from the food. It's a different everything. Everything is different there. And we're not going to pretend like, you going over there and it's business as usual. So now you stuck there and now you got to go to the store because you can't live off of restaurant food. So now you got to go to the store and shop and live like that because your money ain't that long anymore. That's That's
But you
crazy.
know what? I saw something, and now they're making the Americans stay in shelters.
Hmm.
They have to stay in shelters. So no longer are we
Wow.
staying in the hotels or stuff like that. They have to go to the shelter.
Wow. 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 This is crazy. This definitely prayers up to these people, because it wasn't very smart. Listen, ever since Trump got in office, there have been people that have said, like Tamika was saying a little while ago, I'm not going very far. I'm not going very far because we don't know what he's doing. And now we're going to get caught in the crossfire. And this is exactly what they were talking about. Exactly what they were talking about. All right.
I'm sorry.
Christian people. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say from the time that he started with the FAA till now, even if there wasn't any war, you had to be cognizant. The
Right.
first thing that he started with was the FAA, and that affects
Right.
everything of how we
Right.
travel, and so at that point I was like, oh, I put myself on guard because no, all my decision making is now, even down to changing my passport or getting a new passport is different because it's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm good. I'm comfortable right here.
Yeah. Live vicariously through somebody else because
And they're saying that some of these passports is really not meaning anything anymore.
what does that mean?
Okay, so people who are trying to come back home or trying to leave, they're not honoring the passports.
Oh, wow.
Not
Well, yeah,
only
So
that's
some,
what she was saying. That's what she was saying.
Mhm.
If you're American, they're not allowing you to move. Other countries have moved their people out.
Right,
Americans have been forced to stay. Yes.
Not only that,
right.
there are new advices at the post office. I went to the post office yesterday just to handle some regular affairs. And you used to be able to get the forms, and maybe it's just this particular post office, but you can't get the forms anymore. So if you don't have
Wow.
it here, you have to go online to get the form. The actual document that they used to hand you, nope. Got to go online now and get it.
Wow. And that's probably across the board. It's not going to be a local post office. It's federal. It's going to be across the board. It's going to be
Yeah,
across
I
the
think
board.
that's across the board because even here, like about 2 years ago, we can go to any DMV to renew our license. Now we got to go to the state trooper's office to renew your
Oh,
license, to get a
Wow.
passport, everything. So you can imagine how long that line is. When they were
right.
doing the new licenses, the line was 3 blocks long.
Mm.
All right, I got a
Yeah, this is crazy.
confirmation too. There it is right there.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's not going to be one local office. They're not going to do things like that. That's going to be across the board. That's going to be across the board. Miss Grace says, I hear Russell Simmons is living over there now. Well, then he should be fine being stuck there because he ain't stuck. He living there. Okay, let's see what he says. If he talks about anything. We have Adele says, no, that's true. When I give out the forms anymore for whatever reason, I had the same issues. Yeah, they're changing a lot of things. They're really changing a lot of things. And we're not going to find that these things are going to be as simple as they used to be. Let's talk about this meditation, Christian people. So out in Japan, they have created these coffins for meditation purposes. And they say that, they are giving people a reason to become more calm about dying and where their final resting place will be. This is one of the things that is being as a result. They didn't set out this way. They set it out for them to meditate. And you have you have a 30-minute session for $13. And they say there's a choice between an open or a closed casket. You can also opt for healing tunes, a video projected on the ceiling, or total silence and stillness. They say that there's a fanciful approach to funerary wares, so it can be dressed up anyway. It can have flowers in it. It can be bright. It can be dark. All kinds of things, because they want you to understand that life is worth living, but they also want you to understand that dying is not bad. Tamika.
I just like, what will they come up with next? You cannot make this stuff up.
Nope, not in a million years.
I mean, so you just trying to find something else, a new way to reinvent the wheel. Like, okay, I know what I'll do. I'll charge people $13 to spend a half an hour in a casket. We'll do it up the way you want it. You do recognize when God finally closes your eyes, you won't be cognizant of anything.
No, you're dead.
You won't know what's being said, being done,
nothing.
You don't realize that every night, or for those who work at night and sleep during the day, we do this daily. We are in the very image of death for 7, 6, whatever time frame you sleep, 5 to 8 hours, and why are you so worried about what happens when they put you in nobody knows. You're not aware of anything. I got a good idea. Why don't they go and get a colonoscopy? You're out for a period of time. You don't know what's going on. Same thing, and charge. I'm not getting it. Like $13 to sit in a box for a half an hour with all of these things that, this is when people choose everything else but God.
Right. And we are checking from Brian. Hey, Brian, thank you for joining us. Brian says, "Oh no, oh yeah, oh yeah." And then we got a text that said that there are urns that are playing the person's favorite song or their playlist. And Terrence says, "I don't think the music playing is for the dead. I think it's for the living. So we can think at least they can hear their favorite song, if more to comfort us, I assume." And I know I said you're dead, and I meant I'm not playing my mother's favorite playlist. I'm just not doing it. I'm sorry. My mother loved Marvin Gaye. She loved Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm not putting no playlist together.
She loved Earth, Wind, and the Fire.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it like that, Shantice. I ain't forget. I didn't want to say that. I'm not making our favorite playlist. No. So now you got to earn that's playing the favorite playlist. Yo,
they got other things. They got the person's heartbeat. You can get the person's heartbeat.
Yes, I heard that. Yes, we did that here.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we did that here. We did.
You
that
can
here.
also get a little snippet of their voice. So you push a button. Let's say you have one of those things, like you have a ring with their ashes on you. When you push the button, you can hear their voice, like they're talking to you, like some little snippet, something, a phrase, something like, that they would always say, like, for instance, with your mom, it was welcome, you could put that on your finger. So now and then you just hear welcome. You're welcome.
Boy, we didn't talked about that thing so much, even Tamika remembers.
Right, that's how they know. You know that that is an A and not an E.
Yeah. Come on, y'all. We got to check in from Miss Herlima. Good morning, Miss Herlima. Jake, thank you for joining us. Shantice, what say you about this meditation casket?
I'm going to go lay in a coffin, but I don't want to sit in a pew.
Ooh. give it the total hand clap.
Drop the mic. I don't understand. I'm willing to lay there.
Good one.
Whether it's open or closed.
Wow.
By myself or with my stupid partner, whoever it is. Brother, sister, whoever. We all dumb. But the second I get invited to church, I'm insulted. I'm mad. I ain't got time. How dare you? Jesus don't save. The only voice I want to hear that I can't see is Jesus. I don't know about other people. I've actually heard the devil's voice before. That ain't something you want to look forward to. So you're going to put yourself in the position to be... But why? What is it fun to go pick out a casket for somebody's funeral? Because we had to do it. That wasn't something that was on the calendar that we kept going to the calendar every day. Like, oh, we got 3 more days, so we got to go to the funeral home and pick out this coffin. We got 2 more. Okay, after this, we're going to City Island, y'all. Like, it was not exciting. This was not something that we looked forward to doing. Why would you want to do that? The enemy is introducing every single opportunity for you to be stupid and for you to want to position yourself for death. This has nothing to do with you appreciating life. I want to know how laying in a coffin
right
going to make me appreciate life. So now we're giving spa experiences in the coffin. There's meditation music. There's a slideshow.
Video.
I can look at while I'm in the coffin. Why? This is just like and there's no other way. There's no way to sugarcoat. You're just stupid. If you came to me and said, yo, I heard about this, I thought about doing it, I never want to talk to you again. God, I hope this saying you ministering to this person is over, because I am officially now throwing pearls to the swine. In my opinion, there's nothing for us to talk about. There is nothing. That is just ridiculous. And whoever's facilitating these sessions, you better watch out.
Devil.
Right. Because you're either gonna get stabbed, robbed, or something gonna happen to you while you in there closing your eyes and basking. And as Lady Tamika was speaking, and she said, I know, it made me think of the captain on Bad Boy when he said, do y'all just wake up and say, hello, Larry, hello, Mike, how you doing? All right, so how am I gonna mess with the captain's life today? Oh, I know. Let's go find some dead guys and hide the drugs in there. And that's how the devil talks to us. Hello, John. Hello. How you doing? All right. So how you going to be stupid today? Oh, I know. Let's go find a place that will let me lay in the coffin alive. And then take pictures. And next thing you know, this will be another TikTok challenge.
Lord have mercy. Terrence says, when are they going to come up with something that means something for us, Americans, or better? They have. Just because it's happening in Japan, they have.
Most of these TikTok challenges start in Japan. And they work their way here.
Yeah, they have. This is it. This is straight it. Tamika says, so let the slideshow begin. Hurry, step right on in. Woo. Adele says, people are entertainment. Yep. Straight blasphemy. I tell you, people are junkies for entertainment. Devil be sliding right up in there. A DM, a sneaky link. Pastor KL, what say you about this meditation coffin and experience?
Man, I'm so impressed by Shanti. She was on point.
Yeah.
You know, and for Terrence, who says, when will they create something for us? Not sure how old you are, Terrence, but everything we wear, everything we eat is either made in China or made in Japan. They've created stuff for us forever.
Yep, that's what
Forever.
this is it. This is
We
it.
we we've been using stuff for forever. You know what I
Yep.
mean? When you in China and you read the label, it says made around the corner. You know, because it's right there in China. But this thing with this
Yep.
COVID thing, you know, Pastor Steph, you and I have talked about MRIs. I don't want to be take an MRI. I don't want to be in a
Yep.
closed MRI or open MRI. And guess what? That's
Mhm.
for the benefit of my body. I
Right.
definitely don't want to be laying up in no coffin. Now, the only good thing about the coffin is that they got bigger coffins. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I sleep a little while. So if I turn over, I'll have room to move. But other than that, I don't care about no coffin. I don't want listen, what's on the flyer? Come get the coffin experience? You know what are we saying? You know what I mean? Come get the coffin experience. You know, you can be dead today. You know, I'm so wait a minute. I got another slogan for the flyer. Look at your neighbor and say we die daily. Come on.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we can do. But this is ridiculous.
Yeah. This is, you know, this.
we die today.
You know, this Shanti hit the nail on the head when she said this is the enemy. I think I mentioned on here before. I used to when I had my last surgery, my wound, because I had continually gotten cut in the same spot, the wound wouldn't close. So what they decided was heal her from the inside, and it would help the outside. So every day for 30 days, I had to go into an oxygen chamber. And you can have nothing on but the gown, socks. That's it. You can't have anything in your hair. Because it's 100% pure oxygen that you are inhaling for 2 hours. Mm-hmm. They slide you in, they close it up. It's complete glass, and they show you a video or play music, whichever one you want. 30 days in order to heal my body. I sat in an oxygen chamber. Why would I then turn around and want to spend any time in a coffin? Because that there was a coffin. You could see there was nothing blocked, because they have to be able to see you, because God forbid anything happens, they've got to take you out of there in a matter of seconds. So they can't have any part of you blocked. So everything 100% glass, because you need to be seen from top to bottom. And again, like I said, you can't have anything on. You can't wear no jewelry. You can't have no pacemaker. You can't, no. Even my wound supplies that they had on the wound had to be from them to ensure that it was 100% cotton. Because you can't put no bobby pins in your hair pins in. You can't have your glasses on, nothing, because it is 100% oxygen. And as Pastor KL said, that is to save my life. That is to heal me. Why would I want to turn around and lay in a coffin and then be entertained while I meditate? So I want to listen to some music, or I want to look at a video while I meditate. That means I'm not meditating. How am I meditating watching a video?
Right.
What this is so idiotic that they don't even realize how you're being set up.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm telling you, you can come in here and meditate. Listen, let me tell you something about this meditating thing as well. They say, Shanti showed the pictures. You could be in there with pink flowers, green and orange. That stuff ain't meditating stuff. When you meditate, there's a calm environment. Now that there, you might be able to meditate in. But that other stuff where they got the flowers and all the colors, and you're not meditating in that. You wait a minute. How am I meditating and I'm looking at the back of your head? How am I meditating and I'm looking at you face to face? There's no. This is how they mess with you mentally, where they want you to believe that this stuff is being done, but in actuality, even the very setup is not conducive to what you claim you up in there for. I could meditate for 2 hours. Now I was calm. I wasn't in there like, oh my God, is something gonna happen? No, because again, there's a level of peace. My like God, I'm trusting you for these 2 hours. It ain't nothing gonna happen. And I just sat there and I looked. But you close your eyes and you just do what you gonna do for 2 hours. But this ain't no meditating. They no meditating time. This is how the enemy sucks you up. I'm serious, y'all.
If you didn't sound like your mother just then, boy, you sounded just like your mother.
She had no breath for the last word. She's so passionate about what she's saying.
Because you know why? Because I cannot understand. Do you realize we're living in a world where they can literally sell you anything?
Yes. Stupid.
We're living in a world that we are so far removed from God that they could sell me death and make me think it's life. Oh,
That's good. That's good.
Yo, this is crazy. And let me tell you how they set you up, that they would put you in death and you think it's life.
Right.
To appreciate life.
Right. That's why I said I described where I was in the oxygen chamber, because I understood why I was there. I understood that if them 30 days went well, I would be better, some shape, some form, some fashion. But I'm not going to lay in no coffin that has already been designed for the dead. But I'm going to say it gives me life. I don't know, y'all. Terrence says, yeah, you're not meditating in that Home Depot wood.
He wouldn't know the quality. He wouldn't know the quality of the wood and stuff. That is what he does.
You know, Brian says, I wonder what's next. Let's ride a bike to the moon challenge. Yo, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, Tamika, you brought up, you said something a little while ago when you were talking about, you know, this is what happens, like something like when we don't have God. I don't know. Care to elaborate?
all of the stories that we have discussed thus far literally tell you that, you know, if we don't choose God, if we don't figure out at this point that God is the ultimate decision, you know, you end up in situations that you never fathom. Laying in a coffin for half an hour in the image of death, trying to figure out your life, or going out to a country to celebrate your birthday and clueless on what tomorrow holds. I mean, you don't have an iota, and now you're in an area where you're completely unsafe. You don't know from second to second what can happen. You know, you can't get back home. You don't know what to do with your resources, you know, and my thing is right now, you can't get home. We don't know if you can even communicate with your loved ones here because you're unmarried. Everything is on the premise of you being an American. And so my thing is, choose God before you make those. God, should I go out the country?
Right.
God, should I even be in this casket? You know, are these choices that I should?
We gotta ask that question.
For some people, you know, some people it's just not every day.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interject.
Oh, my
Oh, you should. You shouldn't have to. But for somebody, you know, I ask, hey God, is this the right outfit to wear today? You know, is it, you know, what am I doing with my time? Go ahead. No, go ahead, Shanti. You there?
No, it's
What am I doing with my time, my thoughts, my energy, everything? Everything that we do, everything that we say, everywhere we go, we have to be intentional and seek the Father in all of our movements so that we don't end up in the situations that we see just now.
Amen. Amen and amen. Anika says, indeed. Oh, Shantice, you made a drop the mic statement. We won't sit in a pew, but we lay in a coffin voluntarily. This is all a byproduct of not wanting God. What say you?
God is allowing us to see the severity of when you don't want me. This is ultimately what you're saying you want. You don't want to sit with me. You're saying you'd rather lay in a coffin. And if I gotta ask, Pastor Steph, I just got this invite. Should I be, because I completely agree with Lady Tanika, and I've learned to do that with even all right, God, so should I get the plain chips today? Or should I get the sour cream and ruffle? Because for real, like did these be real dilemmas in the store? Like, all right, now I done got the honey barbecue 3 days in a row, but should I kind of switch it up and, get some Pringles? I don't know. Because you do understand that you have to include God in everything. At the same time, when I gotta now start asking God, do I pay for these chips? Or do I just put it in my pocket and leave? Like that then becomes like, all right, at what point? So that means I don't have any type of discernment. I spend absolutely no time with God. That when certain questions come up, these are actual questions, not a thought came in my mind and I have to rebuke that thought real quick. No, this is an actual dilemma. There's a serious problem, a serious mental dysfunction that's going on. And again, because we're showing the enemy that you can introduce anything to me, showing the enemy, like Lady Timmy said, welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. The enemy is like, okay, all right, here's what I'm going to introduce to you. And you're going to fall for it some way, somehow. So even if I have to introduce this to you as something that you think you can laugh about, this ain't no laughing matter. So yeah, it's really gotten to the point where God is like, I'm really showing y'all there's no gray area. There's no straddling the fence. You either sit here with me or you gonna lay there with the devil, who are already lost. But now you choose who you want to rock with.
All right, we got to amen. We got to check it from Sean. Hey, Sean, thank you for joining us this morning. All right, Pastor KL, what are we talking about here?
I mean, Shanti just said, choose ye this day who you will serve. For a long time, during the debates, the slogan was, make America great again. But one of my first prayers that I learned growing up was, God is good and God is great. God has always been great. We didn't have to make God great again. We just had to come to God. God is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. He's great in everything that he does. How do you not follow someone who's great? He has a proven track record. Everything he does is in decency and in order.
Right.
He can do anything but fail. He's not a man that he shall lie, nor the son of man that he shall repent. So with this kind of track record, how are we following man? How do we choose Barabbas?
Mm. Ugh. How do we choose Barabbas? We got a couple minutes. Tamika, how do we choose Barabbas? How do we end up choosing Barabbas?
That's a really, really good question, because God has always been there. It's not like he moved. It's not like he repositioned himself, but he also gave us the choice. There's a saying that says, you can do this the hard way or the easy way.
Right.
The choice is yours. And unfortunately, we see that the choice is wrong over and over again. And each time that you say no to what is the better, what is the best, what can keep you from going in this direction, you end up with the short end of the stick.
Wow. Shantice, Pastor KL says, how do we end up choosing Barabbas?
Because we end up choosing instant gratification, self-gratification. We end up choosing stupidity, because logic means patience, which means time, which means being intentional, which means focus, which means discipline, which means obedience. We don't want that. So it's real easy to now be like, wait, that takes too much work. No, thank you. And then before you know what you think, and see, here's how the enemy gets us every time. Because you think you're saying okay to the devil for A, and he gives you A through Z. And you're like, wait, hold up. I ain't say I was down with that. And he like, yes, you did. When you said yeah to A, that meant you was down with, right, from A to Z. And I will never forget, I came across a post that this lady made about Beyonce. And I had never heard the song, but she spoke on a song Beyonce made. And it was in the song, she's singing about how the devil is her father. And the lady said she wants to come back to God, but she's too far out there. She thought she was going to be able to compromise 40%. And now she sees that the enemy wanted her to compromise 100%. So now you in a whole lot deeper than what you thought you were going to be. And in the song, you can tell like she has this realization, and it's like, wait, I really now see what side I'm on. There ain't much redemption I'm hearing in the lyrics, but we tend to believe we can bargain with the devil. Like, you know what? I'm gonna just sleep with him this one time, and then I'll go back to God. And he like, yeah, well, I'm gonna let you get pregnant. Now you're stuck with him, or you get this disease. Now you're stuck with that, or now you in so much mental turmoil. You ain't got no baby, no disease, or nothing, but you just walk around wishing you was laying in the coffin because now you're carrying around this man's spirit, and it's just you just all to be doomed. You feel every day you wake up. We don't know. We don't know what it is that he has. He only gives us a taste of what feels good immediately, and that's what we fall for all the time. So once we learn to crave more discipline and learn to crave more trust in God, then we'll stop saying, give me Barabbas. Because we'll understand that Barabbas ultimately ain't got nothing for us but heartache. He can't give us anything good. Barabbas can never give you anything good. Ever. Never, ever, ever.
Yep. All good and perfect gifts come from above.
Yes.
Pastor KL. How we going up out of here today? Why is it that they just choose Barabbas? Why is it so simple?
This girl she done dropped the mic 5 times. We can't sing no more. Pass it over. We can't even get the mic. Listen, but Barabbas makes it comfortable. He places you in a comfortable place. Barabbas allows you to go to the club and won't judge you.
Mhm.
Barabbas allows you to sleep with whoever you want to sleep with and won't judge you. You might feel a little bad, but you don't feel Jesus bad. You don't feel
Mhm.
repenting bad. You just felt bad that, I shouldn't have did it on the first night. I should have waited for at least the third day he rose. I should have waited on the third day. So that's situation. The other thing is that God doesn't give you a blueprint. And that's where people mess up at. Because we don't know where God is taking us. We don't know if
Mhm.
we want to go down that road. We don't know where the speed bump is.
Mhm.
We rather just drive aimlessly. At least I know where the club is. At least I can get off of 42nd Street. At least I know how to get back home. But when your steps are ordered by God, you are walking aimlessly, having
Mhm.
to trust and believe that God is going to do what He says He's going to do it. But because you don't see the blueprint, you don't know what's going to happen at the end of the road. You don't know what's going to happen at the stop sign. You don't know what's going to happen 3 miles down the road. And you're not willing to put the blinders on like the horses do and just run the race because you have to see what's going on from the left and from the right. And God is saying, I just need you to follow me. Just follow me. But Barabbas is saying, listen, go anywhere you want to go. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you wherever you want to go, and we'll party together. But
Mhm.
listen, if you get in trouble, I'm not co-signing for you. I'm not
Mm,
co-signing for you. But you can do whatever
Mhm.
you want to do. Live your righteous living.
mm.
But I'm not co-signing. I'm not gonna say, hey, I told you to go there. I'm not gonna tell you it was okay. But a wink wink, go to the club. You ever seen a woman who was involved with a man who knew that the man wasn't willing? And their excuse was, well, I know what I got. I don't know what I'm going to get.
Right.
So
Right.
you rather stay with what you got
All I
because you
know.
know what you have instead
Right.
of going to what could be better. Because in your mind, it might not be better than what I already have. So I won't take the chance. I'll still keep getting beat. And
Mm,
God is saying, stop getting beat. I
Mhm.
have something for you.
mm,
Mhm.
There
Mhm.
is an expected end. I
Mhm.
wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. God is saying all these things to the good. But you keep on saying, I'm comfortable here. I know I ain't got the money that I want. I know I can't live the way I want right now. I know I don't have the man that I want, but at least I know what I got. I'd
mhm,
rather go the other way. Because if what I got ain't good, they gotta be better.
Right. And that's what I always say. I always ask people, your life is jacked up. And everybody keeps saying try Jesus. Your life is jacked up. Could it be any worse if you tried God?
Now you
I
might learn how
don't
to
under-
read when you try him. Did you think of
I
that?
don't understand.
Mhm.
Trying God ain't gonna make it no worse than where you already are. Amen. Thank you so much, my due time crew, for your contribution into today's conversation. And we pray you have a blessed day.
have a
Thank
blessed
you.
one.
Have a good day, everyone.
Thank
Well, good,
you.
well.
Fine job. Fine job, everybody. Oh, my. The question was, how do we keep trying Barabbas? How do we keep choosing Barabbas? Nice and simple for Stephanie. Not only did the Due Time crew answer that question extremely well, but my thought is the reason why they keep trying Barabbas or they keep choosing Barabbas is because God has already said, once you have not chosen me, you are at enmity with me. Once you've chosen the world, you hate me. You cannot serve two masters. You will love one and hate the other. You can't straddle the fence. So we're trying to figure out why we just keep making the wrong decisions. That's because we keep siding with the world. All the things that Shantice and Tamika and Pastor KL said, is the world keeps choosing the world. And once you choose the world, you're automatically at enmity with God. You're an enemy of God. Yeah, it's that simple. People don't, I told you before, my grandmother used to always say, why do they hate God so much? And I'm like, Grandma, dang. Why you gotta go there? And she just, most times, she wouldn't even respond. She just look at me. I guess saying to herself, you'll get it one day. Well, boy, do I get it. Because once you choose this world, you automatically tell God, no, I don't want you. That's why we keep choosing Barabbas. Because the prince of this world is the devil. And he has the ability to make everything look good. It says he can conform himself into an angel of light. So he can make everything look good. Like they all have said, oh, it's easy. Oh, it's simplistic. It's only $13 to get in the coffin for 30 minutes. What could it hurt? I got $13. They didn't lower this thing, made it so cheap. There ain't no challenge as to whether you can afford it or not. $13, but you don't want to put your money in the collection plate because the church and the pastor is stealing your money. But you pay into your death sentence. This is the kind of decisions we make when we choose the world. See, let me help you. Let me remind you of something. God knows your heart. Oh, people always love to talk about, God knows. No, I don't think you really want that because it exists. God knows your heart. So we may be doing a whole lot of stuff on the outside, but on the inside, he's able to really determine what is inside of the heart. So no matter what you tell us, no matter how great you make it look and how flowery you make it look, God knows that you have partnered with the world. And we're trying to figure out why everything is so twisted around us. Because we have partnered with the world when we think we are partnering with God. Remember a few weeks ago, I said to you, just take everything you do and put it on a list. And then compare it to the Bible. See what the Bible is telling you about those things. See how much we've actually partnered with the world. We're really not on God's side. We're really not. We like to think because we say, I love Jesus and he's the head of my life and, he's the captain of this ship and he's the pilot and I'm the co-pilot. But when you actually, when God is looking through God's eyes, when he's looking through his lens, he's really seeing. That's why we keep choosing Barabbas. We keep choosing Barabbas because we were born in sin and shaped in iniquity. It's a whole lot easier to do wrong than it is to do right. We automatically do wrong. We have to work at it to do right. And like one of the Due Time crew said, we don't want to work. No, we don't want to work. It hurts. It hurts to work. It hurts to get up every day and be intentional in serving God. It hurts. Yeah, that ain't no easy feat. It hurts to tell God every day, you know what? Order my steps and I'm going to go with what you do. With what you say, with what you tell me. Oh, that ain't easy. Because that work is hard. But listen, you don't have to do it alone. It's hard when you're doing it alone. It's impossible if you do it alone. If you try to do it alone, it's impossible. But you are going to have to make up in your mind that you are going to choose Jesus. That God is really going to be the head of your life. Because once you do that, you take a lot of that weight off of you. Jesus said, come on, come on, come on to me, all you who are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. We put so much into the dead. I just did this thing, I just don't get. Oh, my mother's watching over me. Oh, my grandpa is making sure everybody's okay. And, they protected me. Didn't God say that no more weeping and wailing? And, it was spoken of in its final, once we are changed and all that stuff. But once we're gone, that stuff applies. So if I have no, God says no more weeping, no more crying, but I'm up there worrying about whether you're going to get hit by a car or not. Doesn't that defy what God said? We put a whole lot of responsibility on the dead. Well, they're just that. They're dead. What can I rely on my mama to do for me right now? From January 25th, 2022, Ernestine couldn't do anything else for Stephanie. She couldn't converse with me. She couldn't advise me. She couldn't guide me. She couldn't pray for me. She couldn't laugh with me. She couldn't talk to me. She couldn't do anything. That was it. We put a whole lot of responsibility on the dead. And we rely on them for a whole lot. We need to make sure we connect with God. Because when we do so, then we're putting our trust, we're putting our hope, we're putting our faith into the right place. If our dead ones are protecting us and keeping us from harm, what's God doing? We got his legs crossed, looking over, saying, oh, y'all take care of that right there. I need a break. Well, what is he doing? What does he say? So when Jesus says, come to me, all who are heavy laden, and I will give you rest, and you're putting that into man who died, then what's Jesus' offer? What does his offer mean to us anymore? What does that mean? We put a whole lot of responsibility where it's not supposed to be, and we're not trusting God the way we need to. And that's another reason why everything is so twisted. Because if we're relying on the dead to take care of us, then why would God be hanging on in there with us? We didn't left that to the dead. We have a lot to think about. Because if we thought about it that way, then that meditating in the coffin would not have an appeal. Because we would understand that that's our final resting place in the physical, in the coffin, in the ground. Why would I want to imitate that? If I really understood the process and in its totality, then I would be nowhere near having a desire to get in that coffin. Did you see Shanti show a picture of the couple? They back to back, smiling. They're in the coffin laughing. This is a joke. The enemy has got you in his playground, and it's a joke. This. Look, the three of them laying up in the coffin together, Kikiing and Hahan. This is a joke. The enemy has you playing with death, and you think it's a joke. If this is not a reason to seek God and make him the head of your life, you ain't gonna have a better one. We need God. Seek God for everything that we do. Everything. Tamika and Shanti both said, they seek God for everything. I do too. God, I keep telling you, your feet can't go everywhere. You can't go everywhere. Stop going everywhere you're invited, and stop running to this place and running to that place. And, I say, God, you know what? If you're sending me there, I know I'm protected. But if I go there on my own, I'm naked. So I need to know. I do not pile. I just do not pile on my clothes to just go anywhere, because I understand that God has my steps ordered. You want me here and you don't want me there. And I'm not mad. I can't tell you how many people are mad because they can't do this and they can't do that, can't go there, can't. It's your safety. Because especially if we are not baptized, we have no covering. We have no spirit of the Lord. That's the only time you have covering. That spirit of the Lord internally will block the transference of spirits, because it says can't house both. Once the spirit is there, he takes over. Now you may fight him, but the transference of spirits is no. There's no war like that going on inside of you. God is protecting. That's how much he loves us. The gift can't be like a bomb. No, it's a gift. It's a gift from God. All good and perfect gifts come from above. Let's pay attention to all that is written in the Word of God. And let's just take God at his word. Take God at his word. Enjoy him. Enjoy all the things that he's given. Enjoy what he's kept us away from. Enjoy what he has designed and has packaged for us. And stop running from it. Stop running from it. Embrace it. Embrace it. There's nothing better than God. Oh my God. There's so much peace. There's nothing better than God. I promise you, you will find the peace beyond all understanding. You've been watching It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. Join us Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. where we discuss matters of the heart, mind, and spirit. As you go through your day, be sure to set your mind on things that are above, not on things that are on the earth. They will only serve as a distraction. Remember, prayer changes things. It's Pastor Steph signing off, and I want to thank my Due Time crew for always coming through big time. Thank you for hanging out with us and helping keeping that chat room alive. Please do not miss this opportunity to give Christ your life right now. Please do not miss this opportunity to strengthen that relationship with the Lord right now, because later is not promised to any of us. Check us out tonight right here on Facebook Live, Coach for Christian Life, YouTube Live, a Closer Walk Christian Media Network, where we will be having our session of My 2 Cents. We will be reviewing Mayor of Kingstown Season 2, Episode 1, 2, and 3. And whoa. Catch up, because baby. We will also be reviewing Trap House, which is a Netflix movie. I haven't checked it out, but I checked out the trailer. And join us tonight and help us determine whether we should kick it or click it. All right. Looking forward to having you and conversing with you and us having a good time. So bring that popcorn, those chips, the juice. Listen, Ainsley's got all of his. Shantice, Ainsley, and myself will be on tonight, and hoping that you join us. Until then, God spares. I love you.